Hello, my lovely listeners. I had to wait until all the people pass through because today I am recording from the park. It's a really, really hot day in the summer of 2025, and there is a heat wave going through London at the moment. So I just went outside and I sat in the little park here. Actually, it's a big park, but never mind. And then people are going through. So if you hear any noises at the back in the background, that's where they're coming from. I'm looking at the trees and I can see two butterflies playing along, and the nature as it is now seems so peaceful and quiet, and just enjoying the leisure of a beautiful day and the sunshine and being in the shade and enjoying. For butterflies is what they live like 2 or 3 days. I don't want to say one, but that's all they have and that's all they know. So the view of them playing around, and maybe this is just all, it's not a play, but hopefully it is. It reminds me of the way how life is and how quickly the days go, and the fact that living in the moment, this very moment when you are listening to what I'm saying or what I'm talking about, is just this one moment in the whole lifetime, and it's never going to be the same, and it's never going to repeat itself. You might listen to me again, I will be saying different words, you will be doing different things. So this moment of the summer 2025, I want to be reminded, and I want to remind you to enjoy that, and you to take it on all on, and just sit down in a quiet spot and try to, I would say, to be grateful, but you don't even have to do that. Just be and breathe. Everyone say, all the spiritual healers and everyone that work with meditation and spirituality, the most important thing as our human body, that our human body can do, is concentrate on the breathing and concentrate on your breath and focus on how it feels to breathe in and breathe out, and that's what helps us to be in the moment. I mentioned in my last podcast I went to hypnotherapy session, which majority of the session was, just to remind, was talking about subconscious and how it rules us, and how it does things without almost us knowing, as then we do things without awareness. And I got some homework to do, and I've been doing this homework since a month now. I think it's been a couple of weeks, definitely. One of the things is breathing. So to calm down, there's a few exercises that I can share with you now. So one of them is breathe in to the count of 7, so 7 breaths in, and then the longer breaths out, 11, counting to 11, and just do it maybe for 10 times, let's say, just several times, and it definitely has got physiological impact on how we feel, how calm we become. So that's one thing. The other thing that I also have been doing, and also I've been doing it on holidays quite a lot, was just imagining that you breathe in just this fresh, amazing energy that is clear, that is positive, and you breathe out like a smoke that represents any worries, anything that bothers you, anything that makes you anxious, any bad thoughts or disturbing thoughts. So I was doing this quite a lot, and because I have a big imagination, I was really, the breath out when I was imagining the smoke, that was really sort of big imaginative picture that kind of some people just pass through. The breathing out was just a big imaginative picture that I could really imagine very well. So it's interesting how we concentrate and focus on the not positive things maybe, and it was easier for me to imagine that I'm breathing out all the negative energy than that I'm breathing in the crystal clear positive energy that just kind of surrounds me and is something that fills me in and helps me. So that was the exercise, which I really invite you to do as well. It really, really helped me. And the other exercise that I have been given, and I also do this every evening before I go to bed, I have the notebook and a pen just next to my bed, is just noting down everything positive that happened to me during this day, like today. So, for example, today I definitely write about the butterflies that I saw them. Actually, one of the butterflies is just sitting next to me. I think that very amazing thing about spirituality and when you go into your own self-awareness is that you're being more observant and that you see things that it seems like not many people see around, or maybe they just don't pay attention to them, or maybe those things are not important to them. And the world is so full, and we all, although we are all one, we have different focus points, and we would see and different interests, and we would see and smell and experience these surroundings differently. But being in tune with your body, going through meditation and just being aware of your feelings makes you really super aware of your surroundings. And I think specifically nature, and I believe in my mind that animals feel that. So since I am just more, since I feel more and I'm more aware, I feel like animals are less afraid of me also. So maybe they're not wild animals, but just animals in general, they just feel that. Animals and children, they just feel that in you, that you are in touch with your, first of all, inner child, just more in touch and more sensitivity going through you. And there's this specific energy when you kind of take the focus inward and really observe yourself. You are aware of your body, you are aware of your emotion, whatever they might be. I am not talking about being eternally happy or anything like that. It's being aware of everything about you, and also knowing and feeling that you are a part of something bigger. So it's not, so it's two things: is inward and outward as well. And for me, is especially to do with natural world. It's also to do with people. I would say it's more. It's also to do with people. One thing I wanted to say, that it's more with people who maybe suffer, but it's not really true. I mean, I know that every person suffers. Whatever they express outside, there is suffering in them, because suffering is just part of life. So and some people might be suffering more, like physically or because of circumstances, and some people, I mean, a little bit less in this kind of current happening of life. But inside there is always something. That's how we are created, that's how we are. And some people close themselves very much to not feel that, which is just one of the ways to deal with this. And I'm not even saying it's bad or is worse or whatever, is better to feel. If someone is not ready to feel it, then nothing what I say or whatever someone else says is gonna open them up. Either there might be something that happens that opens them up, or they just go and look for the answers, and this opens them up because they feel that there is something that needs to be discovered, or that is this gnarling feeling that they have, and sometimes it happens, and it happens in different stages of life, and sometimes it never happens, and that's fine as well. It's just the life, the experience. It doesn't mean that their experience is lesser or anything like that. It's just they live their own life. So I was talking about children, and one thing that I wanted to really share today was that I have been passing by some children's playground and saw some kids and observed their behavior a little bit anyway. And in my other podcast I was sharing how I perceive children, I love them, I see them as so pure, and just a manifestation of the life and love itself at the very beginning, before kind of being swept by programming. Just as a observation, and talking also about our inner child, is that every child on this playground is different, and the behaviors are similar to how we are as adults, meaning that there is this child who is very active and kind of running around, and then he gets, because of the energy and because of the enthusiasm, he's got some kids, or she's got some kids that follow them, and it's kind of natural, and we are all born with a specific way of being, and this is the specific way just for us. And it's not the case that everyone is the same. It's just how we see it and how confident we are in it. And with kids, they probably don't think, oh, I am following, or I am leading, or I have this amount of energy, or why I am not here, why I am there. It's just what it is, and they are naturally following this sort of call of who they are and what they are, what their energy levels are, and how they are with their family, how they are with themselves, and they are just happy being that. And they are naturally curious, and if they are brought up in the happy environment, they are naturally happy, and they will be following someone who is, like I said, is more maybe has got more energy, or maybe has discovered something, or maybe likes to run very fast, but then once they get tired, they go and do another thing. And in this sort of age of 2-3, when the programming is still not as strong, they discover that, and they follow their own intuition. It's not even intuition, they just follow their inner state of being, and there is no judgment about this behavior or that behavior. The judgment comes from parents, and parents very often behave or judge through their own pain. And I know that because I am a mom as well. It sort of doesn't finish, this pain, going and looking at your child through your own pain. It doesn't finish when the child is small. It continues because the child grows, and you see your own stages of pain or development, or things that you maybe wish to be different, or things that you are embarrassed about, or things that you don't think you did well in your life, so you really don't want your child to make those mistakes. So for whoever is a parent here, and also whoever does not have kids but has got this sort of situation with their parents, it's just to understand that's how it works, and it's just for understanding, first of all, yourself better, but also the parents better, of they just work with what they have available and how they think what's the best, and they work with their own pain as well as their own inner child, so how they were treated and what they went through when they were children. So it was just very interesting to kind of observe that children running, and then thinking of how it's going to turn up then when they are older, is it going to be the same? The really active child is going to still be so active, and for example, in the work environment or within the friends that they have, is it going to change? Because maybe they will be tempered, maybe they will be told, oh, you are too active, you are too jumpy, you move too fast, you have to sit in a you have to sit in the bench at school, and sort of you cannot move. And is the really shy child going to where is the shyness coming from? First of all, is that shyness, or is just that's their character? They don't necessarily need, or they don't have a nature to be running around, to be very active or energetic. They prefer to contemplate things. They prefer to sit down and look at things, I don't know, through a microscope or something like that. And would they be okay with that, or would they be called too shy or come out of your shell or whatever there's other society wanting them to do, and they would be told what you are doing is not going to bring you success because you are not visible enough, because you are not engaged enough with everyone else. And these are things, and that every one of us is different, and every one of us sort of have an image how they would like to be, which is fine, which is perfect. However, there is also in that there is an acceptance, and there's appreciation, and there is seeing yourself as, first of all, perfect as you are, and second of all, appreciation of things that you have as your unique characteristics and what you bring to society, and that we don't have to be, all of us have to be the same. While also, when you are comfortable and your intuition tells you so, and you are thriving, and you are also working with your fear, if you want to go beyond that, and if you want to, I don't know, present, be seen, go out, meaning just be seen, shine more, and if you are ready for that, and this is your calling, then that's what you do. And if you don't feel comfortable with that, and if you prefer to work by yourself more, or just I don't even know what the better word is, like you are just more shy or more quiet, that's your strength as well. Not as well, that's your strength, because in this quietness there is a lot going on behind, there's a lot thinking going on in the head, and there is a lot listening going on, and listening is something that we definitely now need a lot of people like myself love to speak, and then who is going to listen to all of that? And again, I am not saying that this is the function of the listeners, but the listeners and the knowledge that they have, whenever they're ready, they can share that as well. They might not want to share that in like the to a lot of people. They might want to share this just with one friend or just with two friends. These connections are really important, and I'm sure that this will come sooner or later. But what I'm trying to say is just not discourage yourself because you are this way or another. And I just finished by mentioning this article that I've read about the fact that there is an enzyme which helps in a very kind of short way, short description. There is an enzyme that basically helps us digest stress. So after we get in a very difficult situation or something that really scares us, there is an amount of time that we need to calm down and to shake it off and to basically sort of digest it. And this is to do with hormones, this is to do with specific enzymes that we have in our body. There is this article that calls people who are warriors or warriors, so people who worry. While I was speaking, a butterfly just sat down on my hand, and that's what I'm talk about animals not being, or even bugs, insects, not being afraid of you and kind of sensing your energy of a person who is spiritual and who is in touch with your inner child and who does meditation. But what I was talking about, the hormones and about this enzyme that is responsible for sort of digesting stress. Some people are naturally born with more of this enzyme and an easier way to digest the stress, and some people are born with less of this enzyme, so their ability to go through the period after the stressful situation is not as high, so they would take longer time to deconstruct it, decompose it, and basically get calm after something stressful happens. And then the other group would, something stressful happens to them, they become anxious, and they can very easily go back to their calm self. So that's, you think, oh, that's so much better to be in this group that goes really quickly through the anxious period and goes back to kind of balance and being calm. That is true. However, this group is then takes shorter to when they are happy, so the happy period is really short as well, and they need to look for something exciting more and more and more, because they have this dopamine, they have this, the excitement doesn't last as long as with the first group. So this is how we are born, and kind of our genetics, the same as if you were born, I don't know, with longer fingers, shorter toes, bigger ears, I don't know, Roman nose, freckles, all of these things. This is what we've been born with, and there's not much for us to change. And the same as our external things, internally, we are born in a certain way, was what I was explaining with the children. And since a very small age, we express that. And then very often what happens, we are being told by society, by our parents, that the way we are is not correct almost. So how many times you'd say, I would hear, I'm too emotional. That was the main thing, I'm too emotional. So I felt there's something not good with being too emotional, with being emotional. And because I'm so emotional, that means something is not right with me. And then slowly I started building on this, that I am emotional, and that therefore I can maybe understand people better, maybe have bigger imagination, and I am more in touch with nature. I can be very spiritual, and I can go deep into certain feelings, and I can understand those feelings not only with myself but also with other people. So I do try and see that this is something that I can appreciate more. This is like a certain stigma on certain behaviors in society. In the corporate world is very much, you have to be in red to be a leader, you have to be, yes, very active, you have to be very energetic, and this energy, this action is going to take you somewhere really hard, really up. because then when you're active and when you are energetic, that you've got followers. And I guess in a way that might be true, but it doesn't mean that every active and energetic leader is amazing leader. Is just in a certain position that they feel comfortable with. This energy also may come from different sources. They can overcompensate through this energy to whatever shadow they are experiencing. So the main message is you were born with certain group of characteristics, and enjoy them, appreciate them, and appreciate and enjoy who you are, and also sit with your breath if you can. There's lots of resources online, but the first ones that I shared with you is breathe in counting to 7, breathe out counting to 11, and then imagine this clear energy coming in, and then a smoky, whatever you imagine, energy coming out. And hopefully this will help you to calm down if you need to. Thank you so much for listening. Please like this episode, it helps to get it shared around. Thank you so much for listening, and I speak to you soon. Bye bye.